A very good afternoon, good morning, and good evening to everyone, wherever you are joining in from whichever part of the world. I'm very happy to be a part of the Esri India User Conference 2021. And all of us are meeting virtually. I can see a very impressive battery of people who are participating in this conference. And I'm glad to be part of the event because these events really give us this opportunity of learning from each other and sharing what is happening across the world so that each of us can keep innovating and bettering the work that we are doing in our own spheres. I would have a small presentation to make. I'll just move my slides so that I can be brief and I can meet my timing. One of the things that I would really like to talk about is that this is a century of cities. This is when we started the century 2000 to 2100, when we were less urban inhabitants than the rural inhabitants. In 2006, the world became more urban than rural, and in 2100 we would be close to 85% urban, which means that most of the work of building cities would have been completed by the end of this century. And coupled with the increase in use of digital technology, storage systems, bandwidth, connectivity, and smart devices, this is also going to be a century of technology. And where the cities and technology converge is where we think smart cities emerge. And therefore, most countries are trying to get into development of smart cities. India has been one of the pioneering countries. In 2015, when our Honorable Prime Minister launched the Smart Cities Mission, it was a bold step, and a lot of different countries at the different parts of the globe have actually looked at it as an example of how countries can look at this important aspect of urban development. Three different ways in which area-based development can be done, and different pan-city smart solutions. So the Government of India, keeping this important time in the history in mind, launched the Smart Cities Mission in 2015. Our Honorable Prime Minister actually set the tone for this, and his visionary leadership actually has now been guiding countries across the world on this very important topic. One of the most important breaks we took from our previous way of looking at urban programs was by keeping citizens at the core of the process, right from the conceptualization, right from the planning and implementation and monitoring. There has been a key role to citizens and communities as part of this program. And what has emerged over the last few years of implementation is that four key principles stand out. One, that all these cities are trying to create more out of less. So this is not only about optimization, this is about being conscious of use of resources optimally, and whether be it human resources, financial resources, time resources, energy resources. Then you're looking for affordable excellence, where you can provide excellent public service to people at affordable prices. Then you're not looking only for solutions for today, you're also looking for solutions for the future. And most importantly, you're looking for solutions for everyone. It's not, a smart city is not meant for one segment of society. It should be all inclusive and it should be community centric. Now, as we are talking about technology and geospatial technology in this conference, I think one fundamental thing that we have learned over the course of implementation of the Smart Cities Mission is that technology is a means. Yes, it is an important means to solve problems, but it is a means and it is not an end in itself. And if you see where all can where are the ends? Where are the ends of technology? I think one of the important ends of technology is government as a platform. You see so many different things happening. People and businesses have so many interfaces with the government. Can they have seamless one-stop access to government? How can technology, and because we're talking of geospatial technology, help us create government as a platform in our cities? Then of course climate change. If you can't visualize the spatial nature of what is happening in, whether it is mobility, whether it is water, what is waste management, or about green spaces, you would not really be able to solve the problem of climate change. You will not be able to adapt and mitigate to the negative effects of climate change. Then it's about better governance. It's about better management of what you're doing, whether you are making smart cities or you are building new traffic systems, or you are building new water systems. You need to know how things are moving and how impacts are getting created, which is why better governance needs use of geospatial technology. Achievement of SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, very, very important, and many of the Sustainable Development Goals are affected by the way our cities function. Innovation, because you know things in geospatial, because in spatial format, you will be able to decide specifically problems in specific neighborhoods, and therefore innovation, the first step in innovation is actually to be able to do problem diagnosis in a better way. If you're not able to diagnose the problem, you'll not be able to create an innovative solution which will really tackle the problem in the most effective manner. And so geospatial technology helps innovation. It helps bringing people together, connectedness. You can figure out through geospatial means as to how many people are connected, how many people, for example, many of the systems, many of the cities have actually rolled out grievance redressal systems, where solutions to people's problems are given when people raise these issues through the grievance mechanisms. Now, by knowing which areas of the city are giving what kind of grievances and which areas are giving more grievances, we understand a lot about the city and we are able to address them better. Then geospatial tech helps you in planning for economic growth, in general planning for the urban economy, and also in evidence-based planning. I mean, this hardly needs any exaggeration, whether be it ease of living, whether be it improving the performance of municipalities, or making a dent in the negative effects of climate change. Everywhere evidence-based planning is fundamental, and geospatial technology helps us do that. And we see a lot of technology related solutions happening in the cities. I don't want to get into all of these domains, but these are parts of the whole, and we can see different things emerging, but essentially we have to look at these in the broader aspects of what ends they're going to meet. And so and if you look at how GIS is really being embedded into smart cities, we have the India Smart City Awards, ISAC, every year. ISAC 2020 had many different categories. It had 10 categories on projects, 2 categories on innovation, and 1 category on best cities. In fact, this year the governance award, the first city which won the governance award was Vadodara, which actually used a lot of geospatial technology for making governance easily accessible and services to be easily deliverable to the people. So GIS is actually getting introduced, and this is not only Vadodara, you can see it in Varanasi. I think Varanasi CEO is also going to speak in this conference, and many other cities are using geospatial technologies for all the reasons that we just saw in the presentation in the previous slides. One of the big investments that is going into smart cities is the 71 integrated command and control centers that we've already operationalized, and of course the remaining 29 cities are also in multiple stages of rolling out their own ICCCs. And this has worked wonders, especially during the COVID scenario. If you see the slide, you can see Agra using geospatial technology to monitor hotspots. You can see Pimpri-Chinchwad monitoring which wards have more number of cases and all. Surat, identifying migrant movement through geospatial technologies. You can see Jabalpur, Varanasi actually monitoring its bed availability, oxygen availability in geospatial terms, and Bengaluru also doing the same. And these are just snapshots. In fact, all the 50 plus cities who had COVID war rooms set up in their ICCCs actually were able to do much better than other cities. In fact, now the numbers have gone up to 71, and this was really useful again in the second wave of COVID, where these cities were actually able to do much better than the other cities. And let's not forget that these cannot be looked at as individual isolated cases. In the country now we are headed towards what we call the National Urban Digital Mission. This mission was launched at the hands of our minister, the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, and the Minister of IT in February this year. And this actually would bring about an integration of all the digital initiatives that are being planned under the Smart Cities mission, as well as within the ministry as a whole and within the government as a whole, and would like to create one integrated pathway where cities and state governments and central government can work together in bringing infusion of more digital technologies into the life of people, not for for the sake of it, again, as I spoke in the previous slide, but for solving the problem of mobility, for solving the problem of water, housing, security, environment, and so many different things. How can our cities and states leverage digital more to solve the problems that their people face, which is where we are focused on the National Urban Digital Mission. The India Urban Observatory I would mention here because Esri is a very important partner, in fact, not only in the Indian Urban Observatory, but also in many other projects. And I'm very happy to see that the Esri team has been engaging with a lot of smart cities and has been doing groundbreaking work. And the most important thing is that they actually have been customer centric. They spend a lot of time in interacting with city officials and city stakeholders, and then come out with solutions. And one of the things that we've done with Esri, along with a couple of other partners like Quantilla and Cisco, this is the national government India Urban Observatory. It sits within the ministry I'm speaking from, and this has been a marvelous effort where we can actually now, this is like a lab where we do evidence-based planning. We figure out what's happening in urban India. We are able to monitor our schemes and programs that we run through the ministry, and it also works like a data lab where we actually take up niche products. For example, solving specific issues on bus availability in certain cities, or solving for environmental pollution in other cities, or crowdsourcing solutions for waste management in other cities. This is the kind of work that is happening in the Indian Urban Observatory, and it's a fantastic initiative of the ministry. Of course, in the partnership with Esri. This again, I would like to mention the Geospatial Management Information System, which has been developed in partnership with Esri again. The mission is a very large bouquet of projects. If you see 100 cities, more than 6,000 projects, close to 200,000 crores, which is like 2 lakh crores, which is like 30 billion USD of investment. And how do you monitor such a project, and how do you monitor such a mission? So the Geospatial Management Information System that has been created with Esri is a step in the direction of real-time collation of project information, comparing how cities and states are performing, looking at geospatial attributes of projects. All the 6,000 projects that are happening under the Smart Cities mission have been geotagged on this portal. You can actually go and see the projects. You can see when the photograph was taken. You can see its attributes. You can see its progress, and you can actually predict when certain projects are going to reach future milestones, or what is the shape of the mission going forward. That has been an incredible effort, and I think sooner than later we should actually write a case study about how the geospatial MIS of the Smart Cities mission is actually helping us effectively manage the mission. And this would be a learning for other missions of the Government of India, states as well as cities, as to how effectively you can use geospatial technologies to actually monitor and effectively implement government programs. So in fact, these are the small little ideas I had to share in this conference. I'm looking forward to eagerly hearing from other participants and the stories that you would have to share, and the best practices that you would have implemented or you would have learned about. Smart cities is all about being connected and being able to learn on the go, test new ideas, and scale up things and ideas which can really work in your local context. I wish all the participants best wishes for the conference, and best wishes for their work going forward in the future. Thank you so much.